cops show up, and the standoff starts, which would have been a 2.5 hour standoff between the cops and Cora. The cops keep repeating the same message over and over. Cora, come out, put the sword down.
He'll never give up, he'll stay till the fight's won. Bob Hansen is there. Bob Hansen, your wacky next door neighbor. Bob Hansen is there. Bob Hansen. Yowza.
Rock and roll, daddy. Hey, Bob Squad, it's episode 5 of Wacky Next Door Neighbor. Chloe, what do you want?
I'm furry.
What are you eating? Hey, drop it. Come here. You don't have to produce the show. My co-host Odie is sleeping behind the camera. He hates the lights. I don't think he's my co-host anymore. Odie, come here. Be my friend. This is episode 5 of Wacky Next Door Neighbor. Let me pick up Chloe because you don't see what I'm doing here. And hey girl, I love you. Yes. I don't know if I'm gonna do these twice a week or once a week, but this is once a week because I had an adventure this week. What? I'm not redoing that. I don't care. It's Chloe. Chloe's on camera. So no retakes, no reedits. You're my furry girl. I'm my furry girl and I love you. You're my furry girl and I love you. Yes, you stay. Okay, those are my balls. Thank you. Okay. What happened to Bob this week? Well, let's just get into it, shall we? Let's waste no more time. Let's stop chewing the fat. Let's stop whistling Dixie, waxing philosophical, shooting the breeze. What do you say? What do you know? How's tricks? How's the kids? Some weather we're having, schmoozing, networking, rubbing elbows, greasing palms, movers, shakers, trendsetters, go-getters, gypsies. Did I say that one already? Oh, wow, yeah. I'm tired. I did the wrestling portion before this. I always do the whatever. And I got a Paul Newman's pizza in the oven. So, and it says, profits go to kids. But, okay. Cool. Whatever. Well, pizza goes to me in my face and in my belly. So we're going to do that. We're going to enjoy the tasty treat. What happened last early Wednesday morning? Cora the Explorer has jumped the shark. Cora the Transsexual, that was her original nickname. I nicknamed her that. And no, I know she doesn't represent every member of that community. This one is a piece of work. And I don't think she is a member of the community. I think she's just I don't think there's any actual treatment or testosterone therapy. I think this is a person, this is a dude putting a dress on so people will excuse his crazy behavior is what I actually think it is. But we're going to go by Cora. So there we go. Cora the Explorer. Her stalking through the windows was getting increasing of Miss Chloe here. Chloe is fine. She's right there. Hi, baby. Butt scratch. Who gets a butt scratch? You get a butt scratch. Butt scratch. And the saying hello, the sessions of interrupting our walks were getting longer too, is getting very annoying. So she was living in the alley. We had like 3 days of nonstop rain, which is very unusual for San Diego, and she's still in the rain for hours at a time. It'd be like when Jamie Lee Curtis sees Michael Myers staring at her, or whenever the first It movie, when you see the clown at the thing, or wait a minute, was that confusing the two? No, Michael Myers was by the laundry, right? Wasn't he by the laundry? Or whenever you see Jason Voorhees, and she has that Jason Voorhees-like effect where she's not moving fast at all. You just go away, you just run away, you walk away fast. She can't catch you, and you turn around a corner and she's there. So I got to the point where I was getting mad, and she was seeing me seeing her, and I was looking through the blinds. You know, like in Predator, when, not Carl Weathers, but the bald black guy, I can't think of his name. Carl Weathers had hair, and I think he was still alive in this part. He didn't lose his arm in Predator yet. If you haven't seen it, it's been 37, 38 years, whatever it is. Yeah, everybody dies, except Arnold and the hot lady. So, after Jesse Ventura decides he doesn't have time to bleed, and in hindsight, he should have made some, the other dude who can't stop shaving, he's shaving, and he's looking through the weeds, the bushes at the Predator. I'm doing the same thing, except I'm not shaving, but I might as well be. And I'm looking through my blinds, and I'm going, I see you. Right, Chloe? Yes. So I'm doing that. And she's seeing me seeing her, and I see her getting way too close to the door, hanging around at about midnight-ish. And she goes away. It's pouring rain. I'm like, okay, she can't stay out in rain forever. 2:15 in the morning rolls around. I hear crazy banging from upstairs, and I know it's not the lady who lives directly above me, but I know it's diagonally one over, even though it sounds like it's right above me. I know that it's not. I just know, and I'm like, oh, okay. So Cora and the boyfriend, who I guess is autistic, I later found out. So this is a San Diego joke, but he's on the Spectrum and she's on the Cox. Okay, Cox Cable is the other cable company here. Okay, whatever. If you don't live here. That pizza's starting to smell good. I go out. There's a variety of me going in and out, check what's going on. At one point, I see the living room window of their apartment is completely busted open, and I hear the banging and the yelling. And I saw Cora the Explorer with a baseball bat angrily running up the stairs just before I saw the window busted out. So I went, okay, it's me. It's Bob's calling the cops. And it goes on, and the neighbor who lives next door with Nora, the pit bull, not to be confused with Cora, as she comes back early from her boyfriend's house, and he's asleep. Good job. And so, I walk up the stairs with her while we're waiting for cops, and then finally I leave. She closes she locks the door. I go down and check my own doggies, and we're texting back and forth, keeping each other informed of what's going on. The cops show up, and the standoff starts, which would have been a 2.5 hour standoff between the cops and Cora. The cops keep repeating the same message over and over. Cora, come out. Put the sword down. Yes, Chloe, the sword. Put the sword down, Cora. If you don't put this, they had police dogs. If you don't put the sword down, you will be bitten by the police dogs, and we will shoot you. They repeated this message like every 8 seconds for 2 hours. And I wonder if that was more for us, so all witnesses can be like, well, they warned her 800 times. But anyway, so I guess she was keeping the place, holding herself hostage, or the boyfriend, or whatever the fuck, I don't care. And I thought, they're shooting her, because they kept approaching and they got louder and louder. The rain, it's like a movie, the rain's getting louder. It's starting to hail at one point as things get louder. I see in the alley, there's two cops with a canister, and they shoot something, I guess some tear gas into the window, and you hear her coughing. At one point you hear, Cora! Yeah, I hear the cops getting voice closer. But before I heard that, the cops said the funniest thing. And I'm sorry this isn't a coherent story, but I just want to let you know what was going on. The cops said, Cora! I laughed. It's 3:30 in the morning, or 4 in the morning. I laughed so damn hard. Cora, I see anime in the background. This isn't anime. This is real life. And I texted my neighbor a picture of a guy with a Pokemon. He was strangling or something. Oh my God. I laughing so hard because I thought I assumed she'd be dead. I thought Cora the Explorer would be no more. Cora would be face down on the floor, and that's the last we saw of Cora. And that's what I thought would happen. I'm not a sympathetic guy. Listen, she's got a baseball bat, she's trashing things, found out she didn't live here. She's got a sword with cops, no one has slept a wink. I got like an hour of sleep the entire night, and it messes up the next couple of days of your life. Like, listen, they could have shot her, and I thought they did, because a gunshot went off, and I guess it was a warning or whatever the hell. And that was that. I saw Cora be taken off in handcuffs, but the police knocked on my door 6:30, 6:40 in the morning. They wanted me to recall the thing, all the events I just told you, and I'm sorry to hash through them so quickly. I just sent an email. I didn't have to. I sent an email to the property manager because they wanted that. I'm like, here you go, blah, blah, blah. That at some point it should be a stand-up bit, but obviously more condensed. And I had some fun riffing with it last night at Mike Drop Comedy Club. But the cop says to me, hey, just double checking, this is your address? And I said, yeah, this is my address right now. I'm the only one who lives here, but just a heads up, in like 10 or 12 days, I'm moving. And the cop with a straight face says to me, can I ask why you're leaving? Can you ask why? I said to him, you're not going to believe this, but sometimes there's drama here. And he LOL'd. as did his buddy who was also a cop, not just his friend that he brings with him. Yeah, why do you think I'm leaving? You just had a 4-hour standoff with non-binary Highlander over there, fella. What do you think I'm doing? You think I don't need to wake up to a duel? I said the complex should add fencing. That's not what I meant. What the hell do you think? You think I got non-conforming cis Darth Vader is up there just trying to cut people's hands off? What's the matter with you? What do you think? There could be only one, except genders is 48 of them. But you could be only one. I'm not dealing with that anymore. What if someone gets stabbed? There's gender fluid all over the place. It's over. So they said, I found out through a friend of a friend, she's in custody until Monday the 12th, a $30,000 bond. So this is being filmed on a Sunday. Who knows, by the time you've seen this, if Cora the Explorer has explored her way back. I got my baseball bat in a corner of my own, not hers. And me and the doggy should be out here in 5-6 days. So let's see what happens this week. Hopefully nothing. I can't imagine anyone is picking her up out of the jail and bringing her back here. I did see a car getting towed out of the space that would have been the autistic guy. So maybe she had a car here and that got towed as well. Or it's a coincidence because the tow truck company that my apartment complex works with are thieves who steal your car for ransom. It's all a scam. But it is what it is. There you go. Hopefully no more Akora. I'm going to have my pizza. It's not a personal pizza. I don't trust personal pizzas. None of your business what my feelings are personal pizza. You're the reason guys like me exist. Working through a bit here. It's not working, is it? I'm not even going to share you, let alone share with you personal pizza. I don't know. I don't like sharing. I think therapy is a really great idea for everybody else. For me, not so much. I think for me it's cheating. I treat mental health like more of a DIY approach to you because I was messing up the tag team's name. I treat my brain like an IKEA desk. Like, listen, I'll be fine. You just leave me alone for a couple hours. Give me the instructions in English, a decent podcast while I do this, and maybe an Allen wrench, and I'll work it all out. But I got my bat in case Cora comes back. Got my spine. I got my arms crushed, and that's me in the corner losing my religion. Those are REM lyrics. I was a teen in the 90s. Mic Drop Comedy Club, 8870 Clark Mesa Boulevard. Follow me on Instagram Jokes. My bio has the link. Get the tickets. Headline on April 11th, Thursday. I want to see you, Lego My San Diego. I want to see each and every one of you crazy cats. We are here in Kearney Mesa, which is Spanish for go straight on red. You can also go straight on green, but you have to be texting. Come see me in Mic Drop Comedy Club, and we're going to rock and roll, daddy. Thank you, Bob Squad.
Look over your shoulder, get ready to run. I used to wrestle the smoking guns.
Hey, this is the wrestling portion, Bob Squad. It happens at the timestamp, maybe a little bit after the timestamp, so I can sneak in an ad for my show. April 11th, Thursday, Mic Drop Comedy Club, San Diego, California, 878 Clark Mesa Boulevard. I filmed the wrestling portion first. Did you know that? Now you know that. Who cares? Because it's easier to talk about wrestling, so it gets me gabbing. We're talking a press conference. We're talking SmackDown on the Hulu edition of SmackDown. The Hulu edition of SmackDown is the same as the televised one. It's Raw that has a special 90-minute action-packed version of the Hulu edition of Monday Night Raw. Limited commercial interruptions, sometimes not limited enough. But original programming plus all your favorite television and movies. Hulu, it's TV in the palm of your hand. I'm just skipping Raw. I took notes on Raw this past week. But I'm not going to go over Raw. I didn't have time to film one of these about Raw because if you listen to the first portion of this, you'll know what I was up to all week. And there can be only one. And there was only one press conference in Las Vegas. We're going to talk about that right now, in addition to SmackDown on... Bob, it hasn't been on UPN 9 in 20 years. What channel? I think it's still on Fox. Nobody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. First of all, hydration is key. Odie is not with me today. He is the smarter of the two dogs, and he hates the lights. He remembers that he hates the lights that are on. He doesn't like sitting here for these. He may come surprise us. I don't know if he was in the first portion of this yet. We'll find out, but he is not here now, and I think he is content to sleep on the bed with the window open and enjoy the gentle breeze and not hear his daddy ramble like a maniac. Okay. The press conference was amazing. They did a pivot, okay? They thought people would go bananas at the idea of Rock and Roman, and they found out that sometimes Twitter does represent a tiny, whiny, Cody crybaby, I want to talk about that, type of audience, but a lot of times it actually does represent most of the people watching. And they went with Cody. The reason I think that Cody is the right move is because it rewards the people who watch the show every week and not just tell them, you don't matter, we're going with The Rock. Most Cody people, including myself, like the idea of The Rock being involved. Okay, we like that. Yes, he's a huge star. It makes it feel bigger, more important. Rock versus Roman, to me, Roman, it's a Saudi Arabia dream match. Or maybe it's a fun SummerSlam or whatever. Another pay-per-view like a No Mercy or whatever, they got Backlash, that wouldn't be good for Rock Roman. No, that would make it very cheesy. But a SummerSlam would be good, or one of those Saudi Arabia dream matches. The thing with why do I mention those? Well, first of all, they don't count. They're in their own "this doesn't count" universe. People still get to see it. Yes, American fans couldn't see it live in that case, or go there live, wherever it would be, or whatever the case may be, unless they want to go to Saudi Arabia and wave our flag there. Good luck. But traditionally, what happens with Saudi Arabia dream matches, in two cases in point, Undertaker Goldberg, I'm going to say that one. We know what happened there. Huge disaster. And the Shawn Michaels return in the tag match. That was 2018. The following year was Undertaker Goldberg. Both colossal disasters. And everyone got hurt. Triple H tore half his body in half in the 2018 one. Had a heart attack a year later. And Undertaker dropped on his head. Goldberg split his head open, got a concussion. I don't think Rock and Roman would be as disastrous as either one of those two incidents, especially with Roman's style in the last few years, where it's a big move, sell for a long time, big move, sell for a long time, which but with some mini spots, not just like what they had Lesnar doing for these last couple of years. That was more, the suplexes sell, that total weight, big fight, yada, yada, yada. Roman is more like, okay, stall for 3 days, lock up headlock, headlock tackle, drop down, move, and then we stall, sell, big move. That's fine, because he does it so well that I think it's great when he does it, and he would do that with Rock, and it wouldn't be as disastrous as the Shawn Michaels tag or the Taker Goldberg thing, but at the same time, I don't think it would be that good. It's WrestleMania is sold and pay-per-views are free right now. So Cody and Roman rewards the people who sit through 88 hours of this crap every week, and we're addicted and we have problems. And maybe that's our fault. Maybe that's on us. But we are the ones. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving and get it into this press conference. If you've seen it, I don't like recapping things, especially because I didn't write it down. But if you've seen the whole 15-minute shebang, it's Rock is stalling, milking everything, but now he's a more heel-ish Rock. He's picking on the Cody crybabies, which is stupid. Get ready for more. I think he's with them still. The Brian Gewirtz childish insults that embarrass us all. Unfortunately, I don't think fans are as sick of the Rock shtick as I am. They're more nostalgic for it as I am. I feel Rock's nostalgia time was 11 and 12 years ago. Those two WrestleManias where he fought Cena. He had the nostalgia, yay, Rock is back moment. Austin had his 2 years ago. It was a little later than we thought it would be, but it happened, and the moment, is I love Steve Austin, and the moment for Austin to stop has come, and I think the moment for The Rock to stop physically in both cases for both those guys has come. So for me, that's why I say Rock Roman. For me, it's a fun dream Saudi Arabia thing. Let's see what happens. We have no personal investment in the thing. They paid for it. The princes in the first 10 rows aren't paying attention. They're just getting up and wandering back and forth for no reason, just to be seen on TV. So it doesn't really matter, but that's that. The Rock teases that him and Roman will be the biggest match ever. People boo. Rock says some catchphrases. Cody interrupts. He says bullshit, which is great. No music, too. Made it feel real. And I think Roman says something about Cody's dad. Cody says the grandfather, Peter Chief. Good old Peter Chief will be embarrassed. And Rock says, hey, Peter Chief is my grandpappy. And now you're talking about my families. And now he's standing alongside Roman. And he did it so smooth. And it was so great. And it gave us a reason for Rock and Roman to not fight right now. And that was so great. Paul Heyman's face is great in this. Cody's wonderful in this. The main clip I saw, Seth Rollins was off in the back, and this entire episode, I'm going off out of order, this entire thing makes Seth Rollins, whoever he main events against in night one, God, it makes it look even smaller. And Punk's injury, of course, makes it so much smaller. And Punk was on commentary here, coincidentally, and he was a lot of fun. His career, he'd be good. He'd be good. Him and Corey can just sit there making quips all tattered up. Triple H and Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce get all involved and separate everyone. And then there's a clip thing with Triple H talking to not Kayla Braxton backstage, and Rock says shit and fuck once, and he doesn't like his family being disrespected, which is, because of course they're hypocrites, they're heels, because they just disrespected Cody's family. And I believed, based on my experience wrestling for the Samoans, I believed every single bit of that's how they view themselves and their family. And it is an amazing bloodline. They had the bloodline, Rock had the bloodline, literally the whole family tree written out. And I counted 2 of those people who no, 3 if you count being beaten up in a battle royal briefly. 3 of those people who I've wrestled. So, yeah. There you go. And I once did a promo with Rikishi. No, I don't know how to access that or show that to you. I think it was a cable access thing. Rikishi was on loan in 2001, I want to say. Not important right now. But that was that. So now we're hyped. It became official, Roman Cody, which is what most fans do want. The fans will be happy as long as Rock is involved, and of course he will be. So they made it known on TV that Rock is an executive now, that he works there, and he's a boss, and that Rock can insert himself into stuff, and yada, yada, yada. Which brings us right to SmackDown. We got to move. We've got to move it. They recapped the press conference, and so did I just now. Triple H enters on SmackDown. The place goes banana. I am the game, and I like bacon, or whatever the hell it is. I know they played the King of Kings song, and there's Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. And Triple H uses 2 of The Rock's catchphrases to tell people he's still in charge. It doesn't matter who you think's in charge, or something like that. And there was another one, I forget what it was. It doesn't matter right now. I didn't mean to do that. Then they announced there's an Elimination Chamber. There'll be 2 qualifying matches tonight. The winner wrestles. The Chamber, of course, is in Perth, which I guess is in Australia, allegedly. Nobody's been there. And the winner of the Elimination Chamber, which is also the nickname for my toilet, will wrestle Seth Rollins at WrestleMania when hopefully he's no longer injured. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are now buddy. They're frickin' frack. They're like Thelma and Louise, except better drivers. And they announced some people. There'll be 12. There's pictures of 12 dudes on the screen, and they will wrestle each other. The 6 winners of the singles matches over the next few weeks will be the people in the chamber, yada, yada, yada. Drew McIntyre shows up. He's wearing a kilt, and he says words. AJ Styles and wrestles Drew McIntyre. AJ is good again, even though he dresses like he's here to fix your garbage disposal. AJ Styles wrestles Drew, and LaKnight is on the commentary. He is excellent. Wade Barrett is also excellent. He says the words underpants and loins, and after Wade Barrett says underpants and loins, LaKnight, of course, because he's a wrestler on commentary, gets inadvertently struck by a large body, which I think was Drew or AJ Styles, who is already fixed your garbage disposal. And then Drew McIntyre wins because LaKnight poured water on AJ Styles because he was dirty and from fixing your disposal and getting the chicken bones out of there. And Drew wins. There you go. There's a break. Sami Zayn talks to Kayla Braxton. I hope they had a nice conversation. Pretty Deadly are British. They're at a gazebo somewhere and they see the Queen of England in the clouds. I am not kidding. Bianca Belair wrestles Michin, LOL, and Gallows and Ant. Did you hear that? The birds? The goddamn birds are chirping. Bianca Belair wrestles Michin, who is accompanied by Gallows and Anderson, whose sole job is to accompany Michin to the ring for 3 seconds, so she loses. Bianca Belair defeats her because, come on now, let's move on. Braun Breaker has a blue suit. He looks like he's going to the prom in 1978. He talks to Triple H, who looks like he's in charge. And Paul Heyman interrupts and Braun leaves. And Triple H goes, "What do you want?" And Paul Heyman says, "Roman's going to be here next week and so is The Rock." And then Damage Control have a segment. And this time it's Bayley. Everyone likes her and Bayley is embracing the cheers. And that's very nice. And Dakota comes out and she has a knee brace on still. And they're iffy, and Dakota's apologizing and sort of still wants to be friends, but Bayley can't trust her. This was also really well done. The 3 other members of Damage Control, who are from the Far East, they are Japanese. Asuka Kairi Sane, of course, Io Sky, the singles champion. They surround the Dakota and Bayley. Dakota bails on Bayley, which I think one of the commentators made that remark as well. Dakota comes back in with a chair. It looks like she's going to nail Bayley. Bayley is horrified. Dakota runs past Bayley and swings the chair at the other 3. And the other 3 jump off the ring apron. It's the hardest part of the ring for all you OG Bob Squad members. And Bayley is standing there with Dakota. So it looks like Dakota and Bayley are going to be buddies against the 3 evil Japanese women. They're not evil because they're Japanese, but they've done evil things on the program. But here's the thing. They gave themselves an out. Dakota never made physical contact with either the 3 of them. It could still be a swerve, bro. And as much as I don't like that idea, the thing is, the Kabuki Warriors and Io Sky, they still need someone to talk for them. More lengthy in English. They need that. And Dakota would be that person. So I prefer Dakota and Bayley become buddies. I don't mind the 3 heels as they are, just speaking in Japanese, and as long as they say it menacingly, convincingly, I don't really need to know the words. You never needed to know the words. The writers must hate them, because I doubt all the writers just speak Japanese and are sitting and write that down. So the writers must hate that they must just hate. Kind of like when someone writes a lazy action scene in a script and they write dialogue, they fight in dialogue. The writers must just be like, Bayley says this and Dakota says this, and then they go, Io says something in Japanese, and Kabuki, and Kairi Sane says something in Japanese, and Asuka says something in Japanese. Anyway, so they left an out, but it looks like for the meantime Dakota and Bayley are buddies. But Bob saw it. The tag teams, the winner of this tag team match wrestles Judgment Day in the alleged Perth, Australia. The team of DUI fight the Bait and Switch team. Tyler Bate and Peter Dunne beat the DUI team of Johnny Gargano, Johnny Gargamel, and Tommaso Ciampa at the bit. That's nice. Dominic Mysterio is backstage. He says some things and they boo him, and Kevin Owens says, "I'm wrestling you next week." Dominic leaves and R-Truth shows up and he thinks Kevin Owens is The Miz. There you go. Oh, The Miz, at some point I forgot to write. Oh, yeah, I wrote in the next segment. The Miz is wrestling Logan Paul next week because Logan Paul shows up in the next segment. He's with the two general managers, and the general managers can agree they don't like him. But Logan Paul is on SmackDown, and Pierce says you got your hands full. And Logan Paul does a great job here, just being a chicken shit cowardly heel who's really a great athlete, but he's lazy and doesn't want to, wants special treatment. He's a guy who wants special treatment, and those people are not likable. So he's gonna wrestle The Miz. He's gonna beat The Miz, guys. They're not beating Logan Paul on TV. The thing with the Chamber is you got to pin 5 guys and gals eventually in the thing. So I guess Becky Lynch qualified on Monday. I'm all over the place against Shayna Baszler. I know I wouldn't go over Raw, but whatever. So Becky and Bianca are the 2 finalized for the Women's Chamber in this so-called Perth place. And we know Drew McIntyre and the winner of the next match, Randy Orton and Sami Zayn. LOL, obviously it's Randy Orton. They had a good, fun match, 2 baby faces, but a different story. Obviously Orton's bigger and bulkier. They both got a lot of experience. Sami's more wily and, agile and yada, yada, yada. Good back and forth. Sami fought the good fight. And Orton beat him 1, 2, 3 with the RKO. There you go. It's Orton and Drew in the Chamber. That was the wrestling portion of Wacky Next Door Neighbor. I'm hungry. I'm going to put a frozen pizza in the oven. From Paul Newman. It's a Paul Newman pizza. I guess it was designed by him. It's not physically made of parts from Paul Newman. That would be gross, and cannibalism is gross and illegal.